Alright peeps, well today I'm doing a different review. I can't show you many gameplay because it's really spoilery this, because it's like a story beat game. So let me show you the first picture. Now this is kind of the map, and you're going to be playing all different teenagers that are going to be trying to escape through the border to the north of this fancy place. You're being ruled by a tyrant, effectively, and that's why kids are trying to escape the country. Now, as you go, each path you go on with each teenager has these story beats, and they play like episodes because you'll be doing things on each episode, and that's why I can't show you the gameplay, because it would basically just spoil off the story. And it's one of the interesting things about the game is actually going through the story and hitting all these story beats, because you'll notice that lots of these kids are setting off at different times chronologically, and often you can talk to characters about something that happened to one of your other students, and that's kind of cool because things are happening that way. Or you can leave something down and another student who's going on that path can find it. So there's an interesting thing as they're all affecting each person's story as you get more students going up to the north. Now, when you actually get to Road 96, you're actually going to be trying to get through the border checkpoint, and each time you get there with a student, if you get there, that's when the tension builds up in the game, and you actually feel like you could fail and the person could get caught or die, arrested, or something like this. There's, if you can just see in this picture at the bottom, we have people that you meet, and they've all got like a story that you might uncover as you go through the game, but you're not necessarily going to get them all, as it's a little bit. There might be some random stories as you go on your path depending on what you do, because you can either get a buzz, walk the road, hitchhike, or get a taxi. But it's really, really cool actually doing it, the hitchhiking. The actual aesthetic in the world is really cool. You go in around first person, and I think it looks beautiful. The art style is wonderful. The soundtrack is frankly amazing. It really carries the game a lot. And the game is full of little mini games that are all based within the world setting. So yeah, there's a few abstract ones, like here where you're with Zoe here, and you come in to play a bit of musical instrument. That's the one where it's kind of abstracted out from the world, but otherwise you're playing like air hockey inside a pub, or you're playing an arcade game and it's like you're inside that world in 1990s, you're based in the 1990s. So yeah, it's really cool. Like I said, the aesthetic's cool, and there's each student's path, each teenager's path going through it is really different. And you can see like this scene here where I'm with the news presenter here, that just looks amazing, and you're going to be going around here first person doing lots of fun things. And yeah, the sound design is really cool as well, not just with the soundtrack, but kind of it feels really kind of polished indie title that it is. Super cool. And she's kind of a fun character, the news lady, and all the characters are kind of interesting to meet, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You'll see here in the American diner you often get choices to make, and these are kind of political ones, and you can like deface posters in the world. So like there's the Tyrak, who's the tyrant, he's kind of the red poster, Flores is the blue poster. You can basically sabotage or vandalize Tyrak's posters, and that will affect the upcoming election. So you get to this, if you keep choosing like this one, as long as he votes for Flores, that will actually affect the vote at the end of the game, kind of thing. Or you can, if you want to see the world get worse, I suppose you could just throw it all on Tyrak and keep vandalizing Flores posters. There is a middle road path where you think it's all corrupt anyway, which is what was chosen in this path because I didn't quite know my first teenager how the world was working. But here in the diner you can see it is really coolly aesthetic, and voice acting's pretty special about them all. Sometimes some side characters are voiced by the main characters, which a little bit of a disappointment, I guess, but overall it's definitely a game I recommend checking out. And really fun activities. You can see I'm in the limousine here with the anchor, and that's pretty cool. She likes to pick up teenagers. She's a little bit of a strange character, that she doesn't have any friends. But yes, super cool. You also meet this mysterious guy with the hat and the smoking thingy. He's kind of another cool character. Great voice acting from this guy, and really kind of the tension goes up when you're with this guy. He's pretty cool. In fact, all the characters that you meet, the main characters, have their own interesting story of their own that you experience. You can help them out as well. Sometimes you can actually help them survive in a situation where they could potentially die. So yeah. And here you can see when you actually when a teenager actually gets across the border or gets perished or whatever, it'll go to the news anchor and she'll tell the story of what your student did, whether they got arrested or a student got through by hiding in a truck, for example, and now security has got bigger because if you escape one route, that route gets closed, so you've got to escape a different route. That's what makes it kind of interesting when you get there with each teenager. When you start the game, Tyrak's got like a 98% vote, so you've got to do a lot of trashing his posters and trash talking Tyrak or supporting Flores in conversation to get this high. You'll eventually get it to around 51% Flores, if I guess you could get it to. And so yeah, it will affect it, so definitely be thinking about those posters. Each teenager as well will kind of unlock something, like for example, someone might give you a lockpick during a mission, and that lockpick will then be shared between all your characters, or you gain the ability to hack with a device, and then all of your teenagers that you're playing will have the hack ability. So that's kind of interesting, and when you complete the game you can go back as a new game plus and you're effectively starting out again with the first teenager, but you've got all these things unlocked so you can do things differently on your path. So all in all, I do think it's very, very cool and certainly different. It's not a potentially long game. I've been playing it through the nights for about 3 nights and I've got good fun out of it, and it was like an interesting end, but I'm guessing the journey with each teenager was kind of fun. Some good fun missions. I liked all the little mini games, and a lot of the missions have a bit of jeopardy and tension to them, so they're actually fairly cool. But you're walking around in 3D. There's invisible walls trying to keep you into what you're doing, and that kind of keeps the game short because you're not necessarily going out there and going out there and actually exploring. You're kind of walled in to an area, but you get used to that and you realise you're only at this gas station and you can't really go out further than that, and you're doing stuff at the gas station or something. But yeah, I think I actually glad I played Road 96, because after playing 2 Point Hospital, which is like an intense strategy game when you get deep into that game, you can see the review on my channel. This was nice to come here and as just a refresher, because this is kind of relaxed, chilled, one and done thing in a couple of nights, and nice cleanser from playing a heavy game. So yeah, actually fun. In the board game industry, they have like these board games are kind of welcoming to new people, and they call it a gateway game. And I think this game is a gateway game. I think some people who don't like video games might enjoy this title because of the conversations and the character development between all the main characters. It is kind of interesting. It's certainly not difficult, and yeah, you're basically walking through the story, and as they say, you know, you're working by numbers. You've got to do A, B, C to get through this story section, and you follow the crumbs, and it's easy to do A, B, C, D. There's no real challenges per se. It's more just mini games which are varied, well done, polished, actually feel rewarding by knocking them out. But yeah, super cool. Yeah, just really can't show you any dry gameplay because everything's kind of a story spoiler. But so yeah, this is more radio than usual that on the channel, but we are PCGamer Radio, and I thought I had to just bring you a voice review of Route 96, but it's actually been quite a fun time. I highly recommend it if you need a palate cleanser, or you're interested in this kind of road trip experience with the stories affecting the stories of the other gameplay loops that you're going to be doing, whilst unlocking interesting tools that you can do with each teenager, and of course the story beats and threads of the main characters that you find on the road. So yeah, Road 96, highly recommend it. And if you've played it, please tell us in the comments what you thought of your experience and all that good jazz. I think if you'll have any disappointment, it might be that you just get Road 96 and you don't get the Deluxe Edition, because the Deluxe Edition gives you the FLAC and MP3 of the soundtrack, which is delicious. But so yeah, I highly recommend you getting the Special Edition to get the soundtracks. It is super cool. A lot of them licensed actually have vocals in them, and it's a real treat actually. But yeah, indie game with an actual official soundtrack, which is very special indeed. And that's again, it's like a polished indie, and it's super fun. So there we go, Road 96, loved it. PC Gamer, do we recommend it? Of course we do, it's great. We don't really show games on the channel that we don't like. We've played more games that we cover on the channel just because some of them are poo-poo, but Road 96 definitely should be on your radar, and yeah, I think you'll have a whale of a time whilst playing it. So yeah, Road 96, thank you so much for watching, listening, and you take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now. Oh, and I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. Take care. Well, thanks for watching, and if you remember, you can please subscribe and like the video. And don't remember, you can also hit the bell for notices on the channel. Yeah, we've also got a Twitter you can see on our banner, so check that out too. So take care and bye-bye.